And straight after that, we've got Poppy. If you haven't seen Poppy's channel, go and check him out too. He's good for a chat, he's fun, and he makes cool stuff. And straight after that, we've got Poppy. If you haven't seen Poppy's channel, go and check him out too. He's good for a chat, he's fun, and he makes cool stuff.
Hey gang, Poppy here. This is another of the non-machining, not very funny, educational. Anyone that has been following my channel has heard me talk about number reamers and how important they are. Now that you have reamers in general, this is the number one, number reamers in specific. You want to know, how do I measure them? What is the proper way to measure them? Right? Okay, well, I'm going to show you. Let me zoom in here so I can get right up on it. Whoa. There we are. See that? That is a reamer. Now, here are the flutes holding the shank. You never ever measure a rotating cutting tool by its shank. The shank is wrong. Even if it's one of them cheap companies, they use drill rod and they just cut their flutes, and it's wrong. Good ones, this is usually a little larger here than it is here. And so they can have a precision shaft. They can put it in their machine and they're going to cut the flutes. And now, the way you measure them is you get a good measuring tool, one that you can trust. This one here, my wife paid $300 for this in the early 90s. It's a good digital caliper. It's a Mitutoyo Absolute Digimatic Solar. No batteries. Okay, now, I trust this caliper. I also trust the 6-inch Mitutoyo dial calipers I bought at the pawn shop in Concord when I was a sophomore. That was a long time ago. You have to actually destroy a dial caliper before they won't work. Okay, and you measure. This was 222.1. The nominal size for this is 228. Right? No. Yeah, number one is supposed to be 228. 222. 226. See? It's hard to measure them. And you can't do it here. Because this is 214. It's undersized. Yeah, it is. I can feel it. The flutes are bigger than the shank. A trustworthy measuring tool, and you measure 227 within a thousandth. And it's accurate to within a half thousandth. So this is a good reamer. And now, go put it back in here. You notice I have it flutes in first. Something I started doing long ago. It protects your hand from the drill. As I know these are reamers, but and it protects the point of your cutting tool from damage. Say you drop this. Oh, you drop this and it pops up and they go all over the floor. Then you're going to need to know how to measure them. I mean, you can start by laying out, this is the biggest one, you know, shuffling them back and forth. But eventually you're going to have to start measuring them before you put them back in the box. So don't drop it. Where are we at? 6 minutes? Only 6 minutes. Wow. Okay. Reamers, since we're talking about reamers, are a slow speed rotating cutting tool. They're used to refine the shape and size of drilled holes. Twist drills often make triangular shaped holes. It's the no bueno for precision work. How do you choose what size, undersize, to drill your hole so you can ream it? Machinery's Handbook has a lot of data on that. It all varies according to the material you're cutting, what kind of machine, quality, state of manufacture of the machine. If it's all worn out and sloppy, you know, cutting fluid, all that. However, no matter what type of reamer it is, inch, metric, number reamer, if it's a straight reamer, general rules are run them slow with a lot of cutting fluid, a lot of lube, and there are 3 rules you never ever break. 1, do not stop that reamer in the hole. 2, do not run that reamer backwards. 3, definitely don't jack it out of the hole still. Those are 3 very, very fast ways to destroy a reamer. Now, it's your money. You can throw it away. If you really want to get rid of it, I can send you a post office box number where occasionally it'll get empty. Send in cash, gold, diamonds, you know, that kind of stuff. You do that in a shop, you're likely to get fired. Unless it's the first day and there's special reasons why you got the apprenticeship there. Get him out of here. Subject I touched on in my last video is taper reamers. There are taper reamers of many reasons. There's taper pin reamers because a lot of times machines are put together with tapered pins, a specific angle and sizes. They need specific taper pin reamers so they'll fit when you tap them in. Watchmakers and clockmakers have tools they call broaches. They have cutting broaches and smoothing broaches. Basically, they are tapered reamers. Instead of a scallop, it's just 5-sided with the primary angle very, very faintly visible. And what clockmakers and watchmakers do with them is they'll get the hole where a shaft has to go through a little bit too small. They'll come in one side with their cutting broach, and they'll keep on trying the shaft until it almost wants to start. And they'll go work on the other side, and they'll work on it. It almost wants to start. Then they refine the size very carefully, size and position of where this V in the middle of the hole comes in. And after they're done all of the cutting broaches, they'll take out the smoothing broaches. They're just a long, tapered round with square or knurled so you can grip it. And some use them plain, just put it in there, and the friction of the steel on the brass or bronze, other soft metals, that some will put a mild abrasive, toothpaste. They get that in so it's not wobbling, but it's not tight. That was a reamer, the cutting broach. Clockmakers and watchmakers use it. I've got a set. Anyway, there's another special reamers. Another special type of reamer called chamber reamers. People who manufacture firearms and gunsmiths sometimes don't manufacture firearms and just fix them. Anyway, chamber reamer, bullets got to go in the barrel. And the chamber here, sometimes they have strange shapes. They'll go special reamer. The gunsmith very carefully works out. He's checking with an actual piece of ammunition. Oh, God, fit Winchester 110. Do you want to know what kind of primer I put? No, I don't need to know what kind of primer you put in it. If it fits that one, it's going to fit all the rest of the customer's ammo. Right. Well, anyway, that's the idea. Anyway, chamber reamers. "13 minutes. Well, I guess I can stop now. I've been boring you long enough. I could talk forever, but I shouldn't. So, good night from California.